Hey, it's Jabbo. Welcome to BrickTsar, your home for vintage Lego. And this video is not specifically about Lego, although in the future it will be. So, one of the most often asked questions I got was, what theme would I like to see Lego make? And it always at the top of the list was Star Trek. I am particularly partial to the original series, which we have two original series brick built sets here that are not Lego. One is from 2016. It's the USS Enterprise from Mega Bloks. And then this one we just picked up. I'm not sure when they first did it, but this is the Blue Bricks USS Enterprise. And I found out as I was building this that they updated it. So this is the Blue Bricks Pro, what do they call it? Yeah, Blue Bricks Pro Series Enterprise, and they did an updated version, which is apparently what I bought. Now, with both of these, you can no longer buy them from the manufacturer. If you're going to buy these, you're going to have to buy them from somebody reselling them on your favorite reselling website that's not Bricklink, because these cannot appear on Bricklink because they're not Lego. But as has been rumored, we're going to be getting a Star Trek series. I don't know if it's going to be just a one-off Lego set. Don't know for sure what it's going to be. The rumors have been that it's going to be the Enterprise from the Next Generation, which is arguably, objectively, the best series of all of them. It was a long-running series. There were a lot of good episodes. I got a lot of characters that I'm partial to in that series. But anyway, hopefully we will get an Enterprise on the scale of these Enterprises. These are rather large sets. They're both around 3,000. They're over 3,000 pieces. And this one's been on display for a while. I think this Mega Bloks one, I think the front of the Enterprise is starting to sag down a little bit. The Blue Bricks, we just built it, so I'm not sure how it's going to stand up with gravity over time. But we've also, and I'm going to be looking at these a little closer, get you some closer shots of them. I got some questions from our channel members as well that we'll be answering. So this is not going to be overall detailed review. It's just I'm looking forward to Lego doing it, but I challenge the Lego group to do it at least as well as these people did. The Mega Bloks one, overall, Mega Bloks has made some pretty bad sets over the years. But this one I think has held up and stood the test of time, and it's one of the few that's still assembled in my collection. I think I got a Thomas one somewhere. And then the Blue Bricks one is clearly designed and made by people that truly love Star Trek. So I don't think we'll ever get the passion and the love that the people that work for Blue Bricks put into making these designs. They had a ton of designs. They lost the license, and that's when we started this speculation that maybe Lego is getting it, because the license has expired with Blue Bricks. They still are able to sell what remaining stock they have, so there are actually a few items left. But I bought this as soon as I saw Jason from not Jason. I always get Jason and Brian mixed up. Brian from Battery Powered Bricks interviewed the media guy from Blue Bricks a few months ago, and that's when I heard that they lost the license. I immediately went on their website and bought this. Unfortunately, for a lot of people here in the U.S., Blue Bricks is a German-based company, so it is rather expensive to buy individual sets from them. And this is not sponsored by any of the mentioned companies, Lego, Mega Bloks, Blue Bricks, any of them. But I have to say I'm quite pleased with this Blue Bricks, my experience with Blue Bricks. I've built two things. I built a Flying Scotsman, now I've built this. Now, there are flaws, there are some problems, and there are some things that apparently they have fixed. And if I remember, I'll talk about that. But I'm going to come around to the other side of the camera, and we're going to show you some close-ups, and also we'll answer some questions from the channel members. So the Mega Bloks version, and it is Mega Bloks, not Mega Constructs at this time. Really nice box. The Bricks box is nice as well. And these were officially licensed by both through CBS or whatever that has the Star Trek license. But a lot of love put into the box, so I have kept these boxes. I think the instructions for the Mega Bloks one is in there. But yeah, really good box art for these. So the Mega Bloks one is, the stand has it sitting a little higher, but I think overall it is a little, yeah, it's a little bigger than the Brixx version. 3,098 pieces. This one, the alternate build is 3,021 pieces. I like the stand for the Brixx one better, although I do like this kind of matte gold finish, like bronze looking plaque. And plus they came with a couple of minifigures. The Brixx didn't have minifigures. Now, both of these utilize printed elements. So all those windows on the Enterprise by Mega Bloks, printed. Everything's printed. Printed. And the same thing with the Brixx. This is what they get right. You know, the plaques are printed. All those little curved elements are printed. There are more details on the Mega Bloks version. There's more smooth paneling on the Brixx version. It's also the Mega Bloks. They make the engines look a little different. I'm not sure. They're both NCC 1701 Enterprise. This one's so much more studs on top, but it's less gappy. A lot of gaps on the Brixx version. But those are minor complaints, I think. I will tell you, so this is like one giant element to hold the engines. And I think that's because of stability issues. They just designed this one big piece to hold the warp drives. This is brick built, and they apparently modified it. I'll talk a little bit, I think, when I show you the extra parts I got with this set. But they changed how they built it, I think. And it's a lot of Technic and plates, and it seems to be very stable the way they did it. I don't know. I felt like these weren't going to be stable as I was building them, but they're holding up so far. And I did not build this one. My son built it. So I don't know about the build experience with this, although he did say it was hard to push down on some of these plates. If I remember right, there's one popping up right there. I'm afraid to try to fix it. Oh, there's printing on the underside of it too. The Brixx one, they made some changes from the original Pro version. I'll show you those when I look at the extra parts we get. So the Mega Bloks did a whole series of minifigures, or a bunch of sets that had minifigures. Brixx, I think, got into some minifigures from the whatever the brick company, WeBrick or whatever they use for their bricks. These are Lego compatible minifigures. They're a little shorter than their Mega Bloks counterparts. It'd be, you know, if we get Lego figures, they're going to be this scale, so they'll be smaller. The Mega Bloks ones are more posable, but just look weird. Got a little tricorder for Spock there. But which one do you like better? The light grays are a little lighter. These look more like the light bluish gray that Lego does. I just think they both look amazing. Whoa, don't grab it like that. We'll turn them this way. All right. Pretty cool. And we can spend 15 minutes looking at them like Captain Kirk does. So when I was unboxing this, there were two sets of instructions. One, the updated, obviously updated version of the instructions came in a bag with a whole bunch of parts. So when I saw that, I was like, well, I'm definitely going to build the updated version, which is what this one is. There were some changes, and apparently what they just did is they took the instruction manual and the modifications that they did, they just put it in the bag and just threw it in with what the original one would have came. So you ended up when you're done, you got a whole bunch of extra parts. So I think these are the elements that were used in the supports originally for the warp drives. I think these not having so many stud connections, we weren't as stable. These are all the extra parts I have. They changed the color of the warp drive engine, so these were red, and so they changed them this color, which actually matches what Bloks did, the same kind of orange. And that, yeah, so they changed that. The pearl gold they took off for the little deflector dish or whatever you call it, which does kind of match the darker pearl that the Bloks one has. So those were some of the major changes. I got an extra printed element too. This one has the 2021 logo. That one has the 2024. So maybe that's when they first did it, is 2021. So that's the updated one there. You get this awful brick separator with it. It's very useless. You get a blue bar that's used for attaching these little black stud things that go on the underside of bricks on any studs where you can turn it into a stud. There's several places that's done, so that's actually a very tiny piece there. And so one of the comments I've gotten on my previous Blue Bricks video is, well, a lot of people really appreciated the love that the people at Blue Bricks showed for Star Trek. But there are some quality issues that people mentioned. I hadn't experienced them until I built this. And the first quality issue I ran into was this element, which I did not get an extra. I got all these extra parts, but not an extra one of these. This is the way it came. And I've done a couple of videos for these third-party companies. And I talked about it in my sponsored video, where the problems with sponsored videos. And it's like, I just don't want to deal with this kind of issues. So I'm not angry or anything or upset. I did go and get a used element like this from my personal collection, and when you build it, it's completely covered, so you don't even see it when you get done building. It's in one of these pieces here. It's just a whole bunch of these parts. Might could see it by the edge of the brick, the plate somewhere, the wedge, whatever you call this. But I think it hid. But yeah, that would have been a problem. I mean, I could have reached out to them and said, hey, I got this, and it would have taken months probably to get it. I don't know what their support is. And one of the complaints I've seen people leave in my comment section, not my personal experience, just what I've seen people leave, is that they are very slow or don't respond at all. I don't know. I've not contacted them. And I got so many extra pieces. And since this was a Lego compatible piece, it made this mold, it's okay. But when there are elements in this build, and I think also with the Bloks one, that Lego hasn't made that element. So there are some unique elements. So fortunately, it wasn't one of those pieces that was damaged. So I I did a video for my members, and I asked them to submit questions about this. Let's see what they asked. So we got one from Mayo Hosco. He says, I'll ask, how do those Star Trek figs compare to the Lego minifigs? So we did that. I should have mentioned that when I was comparing the two that we had. And as someone... oh, then he goes into the t-shirt challenge. So I'm not going to go into that. But that's the question, the minifigure. So well, I'd be curious to see what Lego does. And I don't think I mentioned this. I hope they do an Enterprise of this scale. Did I say that earlier? I hope I did. But that's what I want them to do, Enterprise of this scale at some point, even if it's not the first release. And if indeed the first one they do is the Enterprise from the Next Generation, I can't fault that. even though if it wouldn't be my personal preference, but I think it makes sense to do from the most popular series. Am I wrong in saying that Next Generation is the most popular series? It's one that the series that kind of revived the Star Trek thing. I mean, I know we had Wrath of Khan and Star Trek Voyage Home, and then, but yeah, I remember when Next Generation came out as a TV series. I was pretty stoked for that. Bricking Out Loud, he says, thanks for all the great content throughout 2024. Wishing you all the best for 2025. Both of those enterprises look fantastic. It'll be interesting to see what LEGO comes up with if the rumors are true. A few questions. Any stickers or all printed elements? They are definitely all printed. Yes. What is the internal structure like to hold up the saucer section so well? Are there any unique blue brick pieces that LEGO didn't have but they really should? So, yeah, this one, the saucer section, it's a lot of plates. It's about 3 studs thick, and I already forgot, but it holds up surprisingly well. And then the tile pieces or the curved slope pieces on either side also give it. So there's really like 5 studs or 5 plates, I should say, thick, not 5 studs, 5 plates thick. And it seems to be holding up pretty good, and it's got the Technic pieces on either end. This one uses a similar technique, I think, but it's got a lot of tiles instead of the slope pieces. But yeah, I think of all the stability, again, I only built this one. I didn't build this one, but I really thought the engines, they were very flimsy while I was building it, but once you connected all sides, it was pretty stable. And the Blue Bricks definitely has unique elements that I think LEGO should make. Those little anti-stud pieces, those little black anti-stud pieces, those, I don't think LEGO will ever do anything like that, but it is a great way to gender bend a plate, a tile, anything. They did it on some curved slopes on the saucer section build of it. So that would be a neat thing. And then they do have a lot of anti-stud or stud-to-stud plates. And so, yeah, just for snot building, stud's not on top, for those who don't know. They got a lot of elements in this set. But other than that, there are a lot of, they basically stole the design from LEGO. And again, I mentioned the big thing on this one was the things that hold the warp drive. But yeah, there's enough unique elements on this that you couldn't build either one of these out of LEGO. Squirrel Rabbit, do either of them open up on the inside like the bridge or engineering? Oh, and I think that, okay, that was the internal structure. No, there is no internal looking at this. Of course, these are not minifigure scale by any means. But yeah, there's no play features, no looking at the inside. These are strictly meant to be built and be static display models. But there's nothing in there. And you can't open it up and see a little micro scale, a shuttle in the shuttle bay or anything. So yeah, that's not happening. Jason's Bricks in 5. Is it true that the real reason that you did the daily shirt challenge was so that you would only have to do laundry once a year? Yes. Actually, no, I don't do laundry. So I have to keep buying shirts. And then Dude Jude, he says the Blue Bricks one looks like the TV series version, and the Mega Bloks looks kind of like the movie version. What do you think? Keep up the good work. Yeah. It's hard for me to know. To me, they both look like the TV version. I think the movie version, the engines were more flat. I don't know. It's been a long time. I don't like the original Star Trek movie as much. My son loves it. So that was some of the questions we got from our viewers about the Star Trek sets made by Mega Bloks and Blue Bricks, and we are looking forward to LEGO. And again, I challenge LEGO Group, do it with as much love and passion as these guys, especially the Blue Bricks. Again, I I had no skin in the game. I did not even think I would ever buy a Bricks product. My son had asked me years ago about it because they had the Star Trek stuff, and I'm like, I'm not interested in third-party bricks. But after having so many negative experiences with the Lego Group and their decline in quality in the last 10 years or so, 15 years really, um, yeah, I'm seeing these guys get better. Mega Bloks, Mattel kind of ruined Mega Bloks when they bought it. So they do all that Hot Wheels stuff and Pokemon, but a lot of the things that I liked Mega Bloks doing, all those licenses are gone now. It's Thomas the Tank Engine and Star Trek, and they don't have those anymore. So there hasn't been anything on Mega Bloks in that I've really cared for. Bricks, they do fully licensed stuff. No longer doing Star Trek, but then they got tons of custom trains. So if you like trains, it's over there. Again, I'm not here to push either one of these companies. I just want, if Lego's going to yank this license away from the people at Bricks, they better do it some justice. That's all I got to say. And if all they're going to give us is one stinking enterprise from the next generation, then that's just going to be a huge fail. But I don't think that's what they'll do. Let me know in the comments what you think Lego will do with the license. Will they totally destroy it? Will they make us some crappy scaled down versions? I mean, I don't mind having the smaller version. I mean, Bricks did a smaller version. I think they should. I think they should do a big one like this and then a smaller version as well of enterprises and things. But there's, much like Star Wars, there are a ton of ships. Maybe they're not as many iconic ships as in the Star Wars franchise, but there's enough things they could do. They could, and not overwhelm us with too many. So there's a balance. And though I do want different things from Star Trek, I definitely don't want 100 sets. The Bricks did 100 sets, but they weren't very expensive. Anyway, that's my ramblings on Star Trek, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I feature mostly just Lego on this channel, but being completely transparent, I have non-Lego brick-built systems, a lot of them. Just mainly mega block, maybe Duplo style Mega Bloks. I don't know what they call their preschool things. I got a ton of those because I collect Thomas the Tank Engine. If you want to see more Thomas the Tank Engine stuff by Mega Bloks, follow my channel, Trains Are Fun. And those videos are old because they haven't had the license in like 10 years. Anyway, I want to go. I'll see you guys in the next video.